Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Football Friday Live. A nice little Friday podcast after your Thanksgiving. Matt Fargo, Sean Higgs coming at you. Marc Lawrence will be joining us probably about 10 minutes or so. He wants to enjoy his leftover ham and ham with little eggs for lunch or something. He'll be with us in a little bit. Before we jump into action, because we got 2 games at halftime, 3 more approaching halftime in college footies. We got an NFL game in about an hour or so, or 2 hours, whatever that is. We will talk about whatever, the 3 of us. Plus, if there's any of you in the comments section here on the YouTube channel, we will address those as well. But you got to subscribe to the YouTube channel here on Winner Circle YouTube. You don't want to miss the podcast daily, 7 days a week. Free picks. I'm with you Monday to Friday. Chip Termas and the Vegas Legends come at you Saturday, Sunday. But you got to turn that notification bell on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's go and hit the like button. You're tuning in. Why not say hello? There you go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, get notified about the Winner Circle Sports Betting channel. There you go. I love the dual vision now. If you're on your phone, you could choose a phone side of it so your phone doesn't keep spinning. I don't know about you, man. I keep my thing locked so it's not dancing around, but now they've upgraded the StreamYard so you can just get the vertical, horizontal. Enough about that. Let's listen. Free picks. We're going to get to a bunch of them. Yeah. Listen, we're going to have rants about ham and my wife's stuffing in a little while. But let's take care of our stuff here, Free picks are the free picks. Top plays, gamblersworld.net. Head on over there. Me, Matt, Mark, the crew, get on board. 3 738 packages. Guaranteed. Show your profit. We cracked you back over that time. Also, with the holidays here, what do we got? I'm sure. Flip it up. Your Black Friday steal of a deal is We'll find it. It'll come up eventually. Because I know we're going to have a different one on Monday for Cyber Monday as opposed to a Friday sale. But again, there it is.
There it is.
You think that one would be fired up early, but, that's what you got an Eagle fan running the show. And they're just lost over there. They got problems.
People behind the scenes are lagging from the turkey hangover.
They got crappy cheesesteaks. And they're worried about the Amish taking over there and kicking them out and having Amish cheesesteaks. It's really I'll talk about Amish cheesesteaks in a second. Black Friday deal, 20% off every pick and package across the board. So daily package, weekly. I mentioned the 3 730 packages, all sports guaranteed or included in those guaranteed packages. So get on board today. You can't beat it. Make the smart money move, folks. December starts Monday. Make it December, remember. You need gifts. There's a lot of holidays and birthdays. Not mine, but someone you know is probably born in December. Make a little money. Stuff that stocking with cash. Nice little band of bills for you. Let's recap yesterday's Thanksgiving meal. So my wife usually does a really good stuffing. And she's like, try it. I said, okay. It tasted good when she was making it. It rolled out of the oven at mealtime. It was a little loosey-goosey. Like sometimes I need a little thicker. I want to pick it up with a fork. I don't want it in bits and pieces like it's like rice or some nonsense. So she's like, I was really disappointed. And I said, I wonder why it wasn't as good. Or I shouldn't say as good because it tasted fine. It was just not in its usual texture. So she's like, well, I'm going to try to jazz it up tomorrow, which is today. So this morning, she's like, maybe it needs a little more broth in it to make it bind a little better. Not the case. Not the case. She thinks the Pepperidge Farm did something with their croutons. They're not for their stuffing. It's not the same. So now I got to go examine the box, see what it said. Not the box, the little bag. You buy the cube stuff and everything. So I'm wondering if they changed process or what they did on it because it was totally not the same.
Our stuffing, we use probably the exact same product, Pepperidge Farms. One unflavored, one flavored, and stuffing was perfect, like it always is.
Was it out of the bag or out
stuck
of the
together.
box?
Bag. Yep,
Bagged?
the bags. Yep.
This was cube stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
It did not roll.
I did not make it. I'd never make the stuffing. My girlfriend did, and it was perfect. You know, she does half inside the turkey and half outside, and both were of the same consistency. And I couldn't agree more. Texture is a huge deal with not just stuffing, all food. Taste obviously is number one, but for me, texture. Like I hate hummus because I hate the texture of it. People love it.
No, hummus.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I don't want to upset the hummus crew because they're probably watching on the Instagram feed. I know we're on Instagram. So the hummus lovers on IG, there you go.
I'm not trying to upset anyone. Hummus it's a great food. People love it. I don't like the texture of it. It's gritty. It's like
my kids like it. My daughter loves it. Sometimes they'll get they want the Frank's Red Hot hummus. You know, I don't know. I'm not eating hummus on mini toast. That's not me.
Yeah, I hear you.
I changed I spell hummus with an A and I cut off the mus and it's ham. There we go. Ham was good as always. Turkey came out fabulous. Mac and cheese, my daughter makes homemade mac and cheese. She does a good job. I was telling my wife, I said, she will really be a great wife on there because she could cook. And she's experiments. She's like, hey, I saw this. I'm going to try to make this. She tries different foods and she cooks different foods. So she's pretty good for a 15-year-old. She'll go in there and make Italian. She's making whatever. I don't know.
That's awesome.
She does well. Yeah. Because I'm thinking to myself, I said to my wife, I said, what? I was trying to think, like, what was the first meal like you made me? Like, as like a day, like, oh, come over, I'll make you dinner, right? Like, I don't want to say this to her. I said, I still remember the first meal the girl I dated before her made. She made me a meal. Like, I'm like, oh, boy, I guess we get serious. He wants us to prove that she can cook and feed me if we get married. You gotta be able to cook. You gotta.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of cooking,
it's important.
I want to jump right into the Cowboys cooking because I know we had the Detroit game before that, but impressive win by Dallas there. Nice win for them over the Chiefs. I went through earlier the Chiefs schedule because they're 6-5. They have the head-to-head over Baltimore 6-5 because they beat Baltimore. The Colts, the Texans are right there at 6-5 as well, and they play Kansas City next week. And I'm like, wow, if these guys if things play out and a home and home goes this way or that way, you're gonna have just those three guys at 9-8, and depending if Kansas City winning that game next week at home against Houston. They win that, they're getting in at 9-8. They trip up somewhere. I mean, you might have the Texans in there over the Ravens and Chiefs, who, let's be honest, I mean, Davis Mills is still quarterback, and they might make the playoffs with him. That's an amazing story. That's a crazy. Yeah. And again, we could talk about if we're going to talk about Colts. They're playing the Colts in Texas this weekend, but I was going like that's a spot where. Boy, I'm thinking to myself, KC and Baltimore are done now after those losses, but there's still an outside way that could get in there at 9-8 for those guys. Do you want to see them in there at 9-8? Is it a lost year, are those teams are those two teams you consider dangerous and wouldn't want to play them as a wild card team coming to wherever?
I mean, I think they could be dangerous for sure. I mean, Lamar Jackson clearly is not healthy right now, and you give him a little bit of time. You give him a little bit of time. And if they do make the playoffs, they'll be a very dangerous team. They can win on the road. Kansas City's proved they can win on the road last couple of years. So, yeah. And the thing with Houston is, Davis Mills, Stroud will probably be back, but they won it with their defense. I mean, their defense is just so good. I don't like the spot they're in this week. Playing in Indianapolis on the fast turf. Indy did not have a good game plan, I don't think, against Kansas City last week. They didn't use Taylor enough. Granted, it was on grass, but still, this guy could fly. And I think they're going to revolve the game plan around him this week, and I think they're in a good spot to take Houston out. and get some of their mojo back because their game plan was awful last week against the Chiefs. They should have won that game. They gave it away. They just gave it away.
What were your thoughts on Detroit and Green Bay? Detroit had that shot. It was like 10 minutes to go. They went for it. You kick a field goal there, you only need a touchdown. They're going for touchdowns to cut the lead to a field goal. It was, you can't catch every one of these breaks. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass eventually, and it's catching them left and right this year. They are 7-5. They're just lucky that you have a Rams team that's really good. You got the Eagles, who I think are good, but they're just kind of playing down the competition.
Yeah.
They have a Bears team that I think is a fraudulent aim. I mean, you beat who you play. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad teams. They're just be lucky that there's a lot of bad teams because you got really Seattle, the Rams. Probably, I guess you got to put the Niners in that situation. You're only getting one team out of the South. Dallas has a lot of hoops to jump through still. The hoops that are on fire and like they're literally Evel Knievel jumping over the Grand Canyon to get through that hoop. I know they're 6-5-1 or whatever. Still, they got some work to do there. You thought early in the year they looked pretty good. I don't mind. Listen, you lose to Kansas City. I'm not upset about losing to Kansas City or playing like a Baltimore type team. Stuff like you're losing to good teams. Yesterday, I thought that was a spot for them. I had them, and my lone loser. I had them. I had Dallas. I had the Bengals. The way the Green Bay had played previously in some of their games, Matt, with their 16-13 games, and the way they played in Cleveland. I'm like. Even in Arizona, you got behind bad teams. I thought you let the Giants hang around because they were 2-8. You're going to come out here, beat a rival who already beat you, right? I mean, I'm not a huge it's a revenge spot. You know what? They beat you opening day. You want to split with a good team in your division.
Yeah.
From the kickoff, they look terrible. Well, what do you take out of that game yesterday with them?
Yeah, I agree. Like we talked about it on the Tuesday show. We did the 3 NFL games, and Detroit was our pick. And one of the reasons is Green Bay had not beat anyone. They beat Detroit opening week, and we're trying to figure out who their best win was after that. And you mentioned the Giants, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably right. And that's pretty sad if that's the case. And the fact that they beat Detroit twice this year, the division now is done for Detroit. Were they 2 games behind? Yeah. A game and a half behind Green Bay. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't see it happening.
Behind Green Bay, we even talk about the Bears are 8-3. They're not catching the Bears.
Well, I think the Bears, like you said, I think the Bears are a fraud. I think the Bears are going to lose today. I don't know the rest of their schedule. I haven't looked at it yet. But as far as Detroit goes, this defense has to get better, man. That's a problem. I mean, I think the offense can be just fine, but like Love played a clean game. They could not do anything against them. Threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I'm concerned. I thought they were a sure play yesterday. I had them, -2.5. I think I went for 3 by game time. But yeah, they have a lot of work left. And like they're 1 game behind San Fran, 1.5 behind Green Bay, and 2 behind Seattle in the wild card. So they have a lot of work to do. Because these teams ahead of them are playing really good right now. So it's going to be an uphill battle. And their schedule, what do you say? They have Dallas up next, right? Dallas, then at the Rams, who are probably the best team in the NFL right now, in my opinion, but with the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
I agree.
And then Pittsburgh, who's not very good. They should win that with no problem. And then they close the season with 2 road games at Minnie and at Chicago, 2 tricky divisional games. So they have a tough road in front of them, I believe.
And finally, then we'll move on. You said earlier about Lamar. Definitely does not look healthy. He's nowhere near 100%. He's probably more like 60%. Does not look good at all. And I got to give, Mark was with us last Friday. And I was sort of leaning towards Cincy anyway. And, we're talking about it. He's like, why would he play this week when they have a short week versus Baltimore and Chase is out? And he's like this, and I had him Sunday anyway as well. But he was right. He was right on the money. He said, you know what? He practices on a Wednesday. He usually doesn't practice Wednesday, but he's practicing now because he has the day off, and it's a short week, and he's going to play against Cincy on Thanksgiving. Sure enough, he was 100% right on that one. But this team with Lamar, he is not healthy. They're not going to shut him down. Just like Cincinnati, you could hang up your guy there and let him sit out. He doesn't get hurt. Get a better draft pick, get a lineman to protect him. Move on from the coach who's been bad. But yeah, and I do like Baltimore over the Steelers this week. I took them at 6.5 for the next week coming up, I should say, because I think the Steelers are going to do a Steelers. They'll maybe beat the Bills this weekend, right? Play something tough, and then you're going to be like, oh, look at this team. They're playing hot. They're better. Everybody's remember the Ravens losing to Cincinnati, right? Like, people think Cincinnati is supposed to be about 55 points a game or something. They couldn't score. They scored 10 points, 12 points. They're terrible. That'll be the bounce back spot for them next week. But he definitely does not look healthy to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I always saw bits and pieces of that game. I guess my takeaway from it is, Burrow played good in his first game back. Lamar looked inconsistent, looked injured still. But you have to understand that Baltimore committed 5 turnovers. They had 4 fumbles. They lost them all.
Right at the bat, they're going up 14-6, and he fumbled out of the end zone. Changes the momentum. We talk about all year. Like you catch breaks, you don't catch breaks, and it builds from there. And that for them, it just went right off the cliff, and it was.
And because of that, I think it's a little bit of a misleading final. I mean, they give the defense credit. They forced 6 field goals. So
6 field goals.
The defense, held up when they needed to. The offense put them in a bad position. So, as much as you can take away, you see the score 32-14. Oh my God, Baltimore got blown out. Oh, the world's going to come to an end now. No, it's a misleading final. Like you said, I love them next week. I 100% love them next week. So they'll be fine. And I think Lamar will get better and better each week. I think he might have come back a little bit too soon.
Let's jump right into this Thursday game here. I don't know if do you have it up on Gamblers World, or do you want to talk about anything on this one?
Which one are you talking about?
Eagles Bears.
The Eagles Bears game.
Yeah.
I do have a play on it, but we can talk about it. Sure, totally good.
Yes, I got to play too. I don't care. I'll tell you. I took the Eagles. If you're watching.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. There we go.
All right, Philly -7. You get it as a freemium play because we got on the sites, but maybe you're not watching. And if you paid, if you bought it and you watch this after the fact, well, watch the live shows because sometimes we do this. Me and Matt, we're talking. We got games already up. Well, we'll give them to you. It's okay. We move on these games. And to me, my main reason, and I know people just have the way to attack a handicap games. I looked at that second half was so bad for them. That's all people remember. That's all they're going to talk about. They're high on the Bears. There is a section of the gambling world that's like, well, they're fraudulent. They haven't beat anybody. We can say that about New England. We can say that about Denver as well, right? You play who you play. The schedule's the schedule. Everybody plays the same teams. You know what? Well, they didn't play anybody good. Well, the Ravens didn't play somebody good last night and they lost. Teams lose. Green Bay just beat Detroit, but somehow they lost to Carolina, who somehow beat Atlanta, who somehow beat the Bills. I mean, we're going to play this game, alphabet soup game. I'm just not a Bears guy. I don't like Caleb Williams. I think that this is a team that's been lucky. Last year, bad breaks. This year, they're getting some of those breaks. Philly, and I hate it, man. I say it all the time, right? We're hoping for a good game. They have still November 28th. They've yet to play a good game this year. They play so-so games. And again, it's not the best way to attack things like, well, they're due for a good game. They're still the more talented team. They're off a bad game. This is a spot for them. That's the way I look at it. It's a spot for them. Embarrassing loss to a rival. And then they look across the field. They can say whatever they want. The team across the field has a better record, and it's sitting with home field advantage over you. You got to go out and beat this team. You got to go out and beat this team.
Yep, I agree 100%. I don't play the do factor either.
It's the wrong way to say it. Do factor.
No, you're right, but I think some people do. And the fact that they blew that 21-0 lead last week, Yeah, it's a big spot for them. And so right now they are tied with Chicago at 8-3 for the number 2 spot in the NFC, right? And if they win this game, they will essentially have a 2-game lead over the Bears for the number 2 spot. And nobody else is going to be able to catch them. That NFC South winner, no chance. So it's a huge game for Philly. And as you mentioned, I think the Bears are a fraudulent team right now. They've won so many games by comebacks in the fourth quarter. They played the 30th ranked schedule. I don't know if I like Williams or not. I'm sort of torn. I think he has the talent, but is Ben Johnson the savior of this kid? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. But no, I'm on Philly. I love Philly today. It's probably going to be a chalk play. I get it, but
I'm in.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys who might
Mr.
go
Lawrence.
contrarian and take an underdog, Marc Lawrence joining the show. Happy Thanksgiving, fella. How was your holiday yesterday?
My holiday was great, guys. I hope yours was great as well, and I hope you put a lot of whipped cream on that pumpkin pie.
There you go. We my mom made homemade whipped cream, so she does homemade style. We're talking Philly Bears right now. We like the Eagles minus a touchdown, and again, we don't like using the team's due factor. They haven't played well, kind of stuff like that. But I took Philly. You got just a poor second half. We could make fun of but not make fun is the wrong word. We could nitpick the Bears wins and stuff like this. Oh, they haven't beat who they beat, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is Eagles need a win. They need a win. I think they're the better team. I'm going to lay the touchdown.
Well, I do have a play up on the gamblersworld.net on this game, okay? So I don't want to get too deep into it, but the comment I will make is, Matt, I heard him say he wasn't sure about Caleb Williams, and I think it's probably because he has the wrong shade of fingernail paint on that he's using.
You got pumpkin orange paint today? Is
Maybe.
it pumpkin orange or is it turkey color today? He got little turkey feathers on his nails today.
But
Danny Boy's first comment. We got a guy in the chat. Danny Boy's in the house. How are you?
There we go.
Let's you know what? Let's pivot back to some college football today because there are games being played right now. Ole Miss. I did take Ole Miss today this morning. It was late. I'm like, you know what? I was torn on it the whole week, and I said this morning I woke up. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking Ole Miss because it was easy to think that they'd be unfocused and Kiffin would come in here and lose this game because he always has some thumper he throws out where he looks like crap. I like them to win this game here today. They're up 21-10 at the half. I'm shocked at the Iowa-Nebraska game. 30 points. The total was 38. They got 30 points at the half in this game. I am dumbfounded. Iowa's defense versus is it like a walk-on quarterback for Nebraska? Holy cow. Anything sticking out on the rest of the schedule? I mean, I guess let's go right to the elephant in the room here. Texas A&M and Texas. I had Arkansas last week because I was begging the football gods for an outright win so I don't have to hear Texas talking about and Paul Feinbaum on Monday morning or Sunday how Texas deserves a spot in the playoffs at 9-3 because they beat number 2 or number 3 A&M, which is exactly going to happen if they pull out a win here. Am I wrong to think Texas is going to be in the playoffs at 9-3 next on Tuesday? Let's go, Marc Lawrence. He's new. He's fresh. He's fresh in, so he's
okay. I'm fresh.
I've been here for a little while already.
I'm going to go back to what we stated last week. Is my contention that there will be no team in the college football playoff with 3 losses this year. So if Texas doesn't win, I think they're cooked. I think their goose is cooked. They may headline some other top-tier type bowl game, but not the college football playoff. There are too many teams that are knocking at the college football playoff door that have 2 wins, that have good resumes, and it would be just pure injustice for me to see a 3-loss team make it into the college football playoff.
I'm 100% in agreement with you, but they're going to see it's a top. They'll move up in the rankings. I mean, they are 16 in the rankings, right? So you got Ohio State and Michigan tomorrow. We'll talk about that game. And I'm just saying right here, say Michigan. I will not be shocked if Michigan wins as a 10-point dog. They beat them 4 straight times. And where's the motivation for Ohio State to play their wide receivers who are hurt when they could sit them out for another 3 weeks and be healthy for a bowl game? So Michigan's going to move up a little bit, right? I mean, they'll be 10-2. Michigan's going to get thought of as a playoff team. Who's getting knocked out here?
Well, your contention is that Michigan is going to beat Ohio State?
Yes.
They've done it the last 4 years. Why not?
Well, because 4 years, taking a pounding and a beating for 4 years in a row, and then you come back to look to avenge that, and you're the number one team in the country with the number one defense in the country. I just don't like.
Yeah, but Mark, they don't have to. Like last year, they lost as a 20-point favorite at home, and like, hey, we won the national championship. Who cares?
Yeah, but they're not taking the field knowing that we're going to lose the football game. This is, Sean, the hottest, heated rivalry in all of college football. You can say Alabama, Auburn. You can cry other rivalries. This is the biggest rivalry game, Michigan and Ohio State. And there are other coaches that have been fired for less for not beating Michigan than Ryan Day almost was last year. Remember last year when he lost for the fourth time in a row? The Wolves came out. It was unbelievable. Everybody was naming the new coach and yada, yada, yada. And what did he end up doing? He ended up going out and winning the national championship.
We'll have to change his job.
That's it.
That's why he's still there.
For sure it did. For sure it did. I mean, we've seen other coaches there. Coaches that won nine games back when they were playing 11 games that were fired after a 9-win season. So it's not going to be a letting down or looking ahead situation for either of these two football teams. They flat out hate one another. And my feeling is Ohio State is much the better team. I'm sort of anti-Michigan this year, if nothing else. I don't like Sharon Moore as the head coach. I think he's in over his head. But
no argument.
No, but I'm going to say that I would not give a pass to Michigan to say that they're going to beat Ohio State and then move into the college football playoff. If they beat Ohio State, would they move into the college football playoff? Yes, they would, as a 2-loss team, but they won't as a 3-loss team.
Oh yeah, no. Listen. Well, you're giving me 10 points at home with a team that's won 4 in a row versus a team now. Yeah, and in 1991, both of these guys are undefeated play, and the team loses is done. You're getting fired. It's a whole different world because these guys don't have to win this game, nor do they have to even get to their championship games to make the playoffs. Then we got one loss. It's okay. We're going to make the playoffs, and that's what we worry about. I know people love it because you can bet more games, but it's diluted the product, I think. I mean, it's totally diluted.
I have two questions for you guys. The first one comes down to today. So if he loses his 5th straight to Michigan and they don't win the national championship, does he stay around because he won the national championship last year, or is he gone? I think he would stay. I think they would give it one more shot just because of last year.
Now, listen, if they get knocked out in the first round or some nonsense in the playoffs, maybe there's some fire under his seat. But if they get to a championship game again and lose, he's not getting fired. It's all about the championship. Right. Who cares about?
Yeah.
That's like the A&M, like A&M at Texas say. Like if A&M loses today, Texas will be all pumped up. But is Texas going to make the playoffs? I hope not. But I could see them fighting to get the SEC in there. But A&M should be like, you know what? Who cares? We're in the playoffs. We're in a championship game. You're not. Like these games aren't from 5 years ago. It's totally different. There's no urgency.
They don't matter. And Mark, you mentioned if Michigan beats Ohio State, they will be in the playoff. Now, what if they do beat Ohio State, but they lose to Indiana in the Big Ten championship? Will that 3-loss Michigan team get in?
They're out. Out. Get out of here. 3 losses. You're out.
100% out. Yep.
Yeah. No. That's
go back to the original point about Texas. Yeah, they need a lot of help. Even if they win, they'll be 9-3. Say Michigan does lose, they'll obviously jump them. If Tennessee beats Vanderbilt, they'll jump them. Utah's in a close game right now, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 10-7.
Yeah, they're actually losing right now.
13-10.
Kansas just scored. So if Utah somehow falls, Miami's in Pittsburgh, they could lose that game. You might see Texas sneak in. You might see it.
I'm telling you. And because they're going to – the argument's going to be, well, who did they lose to? You lost to number 1 Ohio State. Granted, the clunker versus Florida is bad. But how do you're going to penalize it? And this is the argument with the SEC. You're going to penalize me for losing to Georgia and Ohio State, 2 of the top 3 teams.
Right.
No excuse for losing to Florida.
Well, that's the problem. You got a bad loss.
Right. Yep.
But if you're going to put Miami in, I think Miami's losses are worse because you lost twice as a double-digit favorite.
Well, they could well be, and I'm not a big Miami of Florida guy here either. I reside down here, but I'm not a big fan of theirs. I don't like the head coach at all. I think the quarterback is vastly overrated. And they're in a weak conference. They're trying to represent a weak conference. They've done some pretty good things defensively. They've held 4 opponents to season-low yards, Miami has, but they're too sporadic for me. They lose to Louisville, like you say, as a double-digit favorite. They lose to SMU as a 9-point favorite. There could be a case made for the fact that their strength of schedule is not good enough for them to get into the college football playoff as well. So I'm not a big Hurricane fan by any means. I just want to see a 2-loss team that is deserving to make it into the college football playoff that ends up the season with 2 losses, and they move themselves up into the rankings rather than having to wait or look for a team to lose and they take their place. Now, who is that 2-loss team? It could arguably Michigan, as you said. It could be Utah, football team that clearly dominant football team. Have they been favored every game this year, Matt? Utah,
yeah.
Were they favored against Texas Tech at home? Were they favored against Texas Tech at home?
They were favored against Texas Tech, and they were favored at BYU. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had them as a 2-point dog to Texas Tech, but they may have opened pick 'em or favored or whatever. But this team carries a lot of credibility, especially with the Vegas odds makers. Utah does, and if they win today and they are that 2-loss team, I think they should be a 2-loss team that makes it into the playoffs. Especially winning today, winning the Big 12 championship. That's credential enough for me, for sure.
We've covered the Eagles, being Matt already here. I just want to say, because we're already 30-something minutes into the show, we did a couple other free picks already from past shows. Tennessee in the over, and we could touch on those kind of fast here if you want to, but we've already given these out in previous shows. Tennessee in the over and Michigan in the under. I know it's going to disagree with maybe Mark's thought here on the for the show part of it. But I'm just, for intended purposes, because we're not going to be able to hit a lot of games. We're already halfway through. We got one NFL, and we didn't even give out a side yet on the college football. So Tennessee in the over. Previous show again, Michigan and the under in that game. Let's talk A&M and Texas here now. You guys got a thought on this one? Or maybe, I don't know if you guys got anything up on Gamblers World. And you're watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell on. Grab all that stuff. We'll go to Matt. Any game that you don't have up on the site right now do you want to talk about for Friday college football? And then if you got one, great. And I'll say the same thing to Mark, and then we'll move on to some Saturday college footies.
We've talked A&M and Texas. I have nothing on that game. I like A&M. I think they get it done. I really do. I love this team. I love their quarterback, Reed. I think he's legit. I hate bringing up road revenge, but Texas beat them last year, 17-7. They want payback for that. This team, that was their first meeting in 12 years, 13 years, something like that, which I think is crazy. It was one of the greatest rivalries of Thanksgiving Day every year, and then just poof, went away.
Yep.
I think they're balanced. They have a much better offense. Even you can say Arch Manning's playing better now, which he is, but I think he's still inconsistent. He's still young. The A&M defense, I think, can take him down. And this reminds me kind of, even though it's at Texas, it reminds me of the Ohio State Texas game from the opening week. And I think he'll be a little overmatched here. And I like A&M with the laying the short number.
A&M. What do you think, Mark? Got anything on this one?
Well, I have it up on Gamblers World, so I don't want to, like I say, get too deep into the football game. I think I'd love for this game to be on Saturday marquee television because it deserves to be. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be must-watch television today. If I could throw a game out there on today's card that I don't know if you guys have discussed or not, it's the Georgia Tech football game.
No, we did not do that.
You did not hit on this any at all?
No.
Okay. Well, there's some problems going on at Georgia right now that hasn't really hit headlines, and it's all having to do with the players and the suspensions and everything else going on like that. Again, at Georgia, they just threw somebody off the team, and it's a distraction at the wrong time of the season here, as far as I'm concerned. You're looking at Georgia Tech, a big, huge rival in this football game, who is a 2-loss team that wins this game. Do we make a case for Georgia Tech knocking off Georgia and Georgia Tech being that 2-loss team that gets into the college football playoff? That's the question. Maybe their strength of schedule isn't as deep as it should be, but when they beat Clemson, they felt pretty good about that.
Yeah.
But you beat Clemson, you beat Georgia, and you've got 2 losses coming out of the ACC. I think you've got to look there. This team does not turn the ball over, Georgia Tech. That's because their quarterback is primarily more of a runner than he is a passer. But I think there's a chance here for Georgia Tech to keep this thing really close. I really do.
It's just they have so many people to leapfrog here. It's a great win. You're being a top 5 team. You're being a top 5 team.
They just don't get any love. They don't get any love.
Well, it's just the whole ACC doesn't get love. I mean, they think Miami's the best team, but they got 2 losses here. They want to put Miami in.
Yeah, they have to go from number 23 into the top 12, which would be leaps and bounds. Probably likely not going to happen. But they're a team I think that could be deserving, and you can make a case for them if you needed to.
Yeah, I think you make a good point about it's going to be too far of a jump. A Clemson win is nice, but Clemson isn't the same team as they have been in years past. A win over Georgia would be huge, but I think negating that is the losses. A loss to NC State and a loss to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a good team. Don't get me wrong, but NC State is not. And those 2 losses, I think, just carry too much weight. But I do like them. Again, I do like them today. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on why the number is steaming so much for Georgia. It was 13.5 early in the week. It's all the way to 16 now.
I think it's from the standpoint of there's so many 2-loss teams. No, I think if they lose, there's so many 2-loss teams. Okay, they're the highest ranked 2-loss team, but they'd have to drop some because the other team's ranked 25th or whatever they're ranked. They're ranked 23 in the rankings. They'd fall down further than Ohio State would, losing to a top 15 team, right? I mean, I don't think they're in a position to lose. I mean, you're gonna have 2 losses like what, 10 other teams?
Look at the steps on the ladder, Sean. Here, if some of the other teams that are in the top 12 with 2 losses happen to lose today, and then they become that no, you're not invited 3-loss team. Yes. I'm talking like Oklahoma if LSU can trip them up. I'm talking like Alabama if Auburn can beat them, and that's never ever out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. Then you're looking at, okay, now what case can I make for Georgia Tech? I'm interested to see how many teams that end up making the college football playoff are going in ahead of a team that beat them earlier and has an identical or the same record. And that would be the case for Georgia and Georgia Tech here. If Georgia Tech beats Georgia, Georgia stays in the top 12 because that would be only their second loss. And then here's Georgia on the outside saying, hey, man, we just knocked you off. Where are we? Yes. Where's our love? But then Georgia would still have to tend to business in the SEC playoff championship game as well.
No, there's been a lot of talk about how head-to-head really isn't being taken too much into consideration. Case in point, Miami, Notre Dame, right? 2 teams with identical records. Miami's played, even though it's an ACC schedule, I think it's probably better than what Notre Dame has faced. Notre Dame has faced nothing ever since they faced Miami A&M early in the season.
A&M and USC are better than anybody Miami played.
You sure about that?
How about USC?
No, you're probably right. I have to look at the Miami schedule, but
I just think Mark brought up a good point because LSU. You want to give me 10 points with LSU against Oklahoma, a team that can't score? I'll take LSU. You want to like the Michigan game? You want to give me 10 points with some teams here and Alabama in a big rivalry? Sure. Miami. Am I loving Cristobal on the road laying points? Absolutely not.
Not 34-degree weather.
Vandy's playing Tennessee. I mean, I think they lose. I think they're a 3-loss team. Utah might go down. They're out. They're 9-3. You know, it's good that it's extended this year to playoffs because there's a lot of things going on. Like, where's James Madison? Let's go, James Madison. Like, let's get him in there. You know, or North Texas. One of those teams should get in at 10-1.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing you have to take into consideration is that, we were talking about the top 12. You have to understand that there's going to be a group of 5 that's going to be in that 12 spot. So it's really we're going to look at the top 11.
What has Tulane done to warrant being ranked ahead of James Madison is what I wonder. I know.
Well, they're not in the playoff. In the playoff ranking, they're behind both of James Madison and North Texas. They're behind them both.
Well, in the playoff ranking?
Yeah.
Georgia Tech is number 24 in the current playoff ranking. I don't see James Madison.
Oh, I thought you said Tulane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant yeah.
Yeah, well, Tulane number 24. They're the group of 5 team that would be in right now if the playoffs started. Because they rank the highest of all the college football playoff teams in the rankings.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I was looking at the AP poll. My fault.
Don't you ever do that again. That AP poll, come on.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm staring at it. It's got James Madison and North Texas. I'm like, they're ahead of Georgia Tech and Tulane. What are you talking about? Now I flipped it to the other standings.
No, Mark, you make a great point about Tulane. Number 24 and North Texas is a 1-loss. I think they're a 1-loss team. They're not ranked. But if they both win today, they'll play in the AAC championship next weekend. With the winner of that probably going to make it into the playoff. With James Madison, who they play today? I don't know who they play today. I know I don't have them.
Coastal Carolina.
Okay, they'll win, and they'll play in the Sun Belt, and I guess either Southern Miss or Troy next week. So, and what if they win? It's just
Troy's a 6.5 point underdog. Madison's favored by 23 tomorrow.
At Coastal on the road, right?
Yeah. 23-point favorites on the road.
They have the best body of work. James Madison does of all the group of teams. You know, only one.
I agree.
That was for Louisville when Louisville was healthy and good. They lost that game by 1 yard, total yard on the playing field. They've held 6 teams at season lows this year. Has this James Madison defense? They're for real. This Duke's football team is.
North Texas. The coach is leaving, right? And the quarterback, is the quarterback playing today, or did he say he's sitting out? He's probably going to leave too,
right? I did not hear anything about that. Well, the coach is coaching throughout the time they're still about. If they make it to the playoff, he's going to remain coach.
Their quarterback
is going to stay, didn't he, with the team until the season's over, Morris?
Yes. Yeah, he's going to stay. Yep.
Right.
But James, I agree, Mark. I agree with James Madison 100%. They're kind of getting the shaft here. I agree with that.
20. I mean, they're winning. What are they going to penalize them for only winning by 18 instead of 24 tomorrow? Come on, right? I mean, now we need style points are back in play.
Well, they always were, Sean. Even if they contend that they weren't, they were. You can't be
now the style points
and say it didn't matter,
Now the style points, though, Mark, are the boosters because they pay you, and now they're betting on the team to cover. So those are their style points now.
I understand.
Now you better cover the number of your boosters. Really, let's be honest.
Yes.
These schools in Florida, wherever Oklahoma's got betting. Oh yeah, you want some money? You run that shit up. Part of my French. You better take care of business.
Goes to Virginia Tech next year because he's coaches for the alumni probably more than any other coach that I'm aware of.
That's a good spot for him. He'll win. I mean, come on. Every year he'll be a 9-3 team. They're right up their alley. 1 year he'll be 11-1. He'll get some recruits and they'll be in some playoff talk. Some guys are just built for different programs. I think that's a good spot for him. Or any kind of school like that would be a good spot for him.
And speaking of Virginia Tech, they're going to play Virginia this week. A big game for Virginia, and they've lost 20 of the last 21 games against Tech. So can they get over?
I want because
1-20 the last 21.
Virginia, it's what? It's looking what Virginia versus Georgia Tech or
Virginia
for the ACC championship. But for the ACC championship game. SMU, Virginia, how's that?
There's so in the title game.
Yeah, right. Is that who that's supposed to be?
I think it's SMU right now, isn't it, Matt?
I think so. And if Duke wins, I mean Duke's still involved. At 6-5, Duke can still get in. I don't know the exact scenarios right off the top of my head.
The scenarios are crazy. There's just crazy scenarios for the football. Anything? How about this? Either you guys want to run into any free pick you want to give out in the college football slate, either for today or tomorrow? I don't love tomorrow's card, believe it or not. I got like 4 games altogether. I did not get a lot of football this week in college.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of uneven matchups that I didn't like either. I have 8 games going, which is kind of low for me on football Saturday. One game I got
3.
One game that you brought up that I kind of like is LSU still getting double digits against Oklahoma. I mean, this is their season, right? And I mean, this team is still 7-4. You know, they fired their coach, but they still had a decent year, and the offense isn't very good. And Oklahoma's defense is really good, but right now the pressure is on Oklahoma. I think LSU is going to try to muck it up, slow the game down, and I think they can stay within the number against the Sooners.
I can get behind LSU here with you. Mark, what do you think?
Well, I'm glad Sean jumped in first because that's who I was going to give you. The same thing. We're all 3 in agreement on LSU in this football game.
LSU plus 10.5 as a consensus here. Well, I'll take a shot. You still have, I mean, you got to play for a new coach. You want to look good on film. You're playing a team that's offensively made or has not looked all that great. He doesn't look healthy at all. 10.5?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, the total is 36.5. So you're saying what? This game's going to be 24-6, basically?
Yep.
Like something like that?
It's one of the things I like to bring up all the time. When you see a low total and you see an underdog that is getting doubles, take the dog. If it's going to be low scoring, the chances are they're going to cover.
All the dog needs to do is score twice in the game, and you can't lose both times.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Ole Miss is up 21-13 right now. Kansas is up 14-10 on Utah. That's all that really matters. I mean, Ohio's beating Buffalo. Northern Illinois is beating Kent State by 4. Iowa and Nebraska again, 24-16. The total was 39. 30 in the first half. Mark, do you want to add any college from Saturday to the show? Or
let me. I'm going to throw out there. See, I love these 5-win teams that need a win to go bowling, especially when they dog up, and you can beat a team that's beatable per se, if you will. I happen to think that's Florida State against Florida.
There we go.
The stats in Florida State, my goodness, if you put tape over the names of these teams, you'd insist Florida State was a 10-point favorite in this football game. I've never seen a team with a record like they have that's performed the way they have. They've only got beaten once in the yards this year as Florida State.
They'll get top 12 offense, believe it or not.
Incredible. And they're playing a team that's just going through the motions right now, waiting, for that next new head coach there. I think Florida State is kind of a wrong team favorite of what a WTF play, but I see it's gone to pick them now, and it's probably going to go off favored there. But Florida State would be the guy I would throw out into the mix for tomorrow. I
got you. I can get you a plus 1.5 on Florida State if you want the 1.5.
Good. If you could do that, I'll take it.
Yep. Yeah, it's 1.5 across the board right now.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm on board too. Florida announced this morning that they've given up on Lane Kiffin. They're getting what was the quote? They're getting like uneven conversation with Lane Kiffin now. So they're kind of in flux. He's either going to LSU or he's going to stay. He's going to announce either tonight or tomorrow after this game. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't think even he knows. That's what they're saying.
All right, here's some college for the show here. LSU plus 10.5, Florida State plus 1.5. Previous videos, I'm going to save you from going to watch them, folks, that we did earlier this week. Again, it's not, forget about all 3 of us here. These are just shows that we've done this week. Tennessee -3 and over 65.5 versus Vanderbilt. Michigan plus 10, under 43.5 versus Ohio State. There you go. There's your college football. I will throw them in the chat shortly when we're going to pivot to some NFL. We took a little Philly -7 earlier for the show. Me and Matt had them both up on the site. We said, you know what, screw it. I told him, I said, screw it. Here you go. You got my play here. And Matt was like, extra turkey for everybody with some stuffing. I have it as well as a premium play. We took the Eagles out there. I do not. Mark has a play on this on the site. So if you want to make it a trifecta, you got to go buy Mark's package for today. 20% off Black Friday deals. Go get it at gamblersworld.net. Now, Baker now listed to play. Line has really not shifted. It was 6.5. It reopens up at 3.5, 4. It's sticking. There's a 4.5 out there. I like Arizona in this game just because Brissett is a veteran guy. He wants to win. He's looking for a contract. They've been competitive with him behind center. Whether they're missing all wide receivers, running backs, doesn't make a difference. I think Tampa has run its course. They came out of their bye week. I had them. Loser. They go to Buffalo, get their doors blown off. They go to the Rams. The Rams say, well, thank you for this. We need to get our offense on track. They get blitz there. I think there's just too many injuries. He's available to play. How healthy is Baker? I mean, like, they're just banged up all over the place. I do not like it. If one of you agree on this, Arizona plus 4.5 at DK will be a show pick. Marc Lawrence, the ball's in your court to start this one here.
Well, I'm on Arizona all over Arizona in this game. I refer to a lot of what I call leaking oil, where teams are favored when they've been outstatted 3 games in a row. Tampa's been outstatted 7 games in a row. This team is the Exxon Valdez of the NFL football teams right now. And while the injury to Baker Mayfield is to his non-throwing shoulder, it's still an injury, and he's still not 100%. I don't care if he takes the field and starts; he's still not going to be 100% in a football game. So I'm with you. I like Arizona in this football game. They're a team that has not quit for most of the part of the season. They have 6 one-score losses. Does Arizona this football season here? And I think they can make this comfortable as well, close as well. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Arizona beats Tampa Bay.
There you go. Matt Fargo. Before I get to Matt's take on this game, real fast, Mark, I don't know if you have it available or maybe just know it off the top of your head. Doug Upstone asked me, he's like, you know what? Maybe, and I said, maybe Mark knows the answer to this because I didn't have it. Yesterday, 3 doggies outright on Thanksgiving. Since the triple header began, has there been a Thursday Thanksgiving where 3 doggies win outright? I'll let if you need a second to dig it up, that's fine. I'm going to let Matt talk about this Tampa Bay game.
I'm going to bring it up while you're talking with Matt here. Okay, I'll bring it up on the database
excellent.
right now. Okay. Okay.
There you go, Matt. What do you like about this?
Yeah, I'm with you. Arizona, I haven't put my card out yet. They very well could be a premium play. They're one of the highlights. If you could read that.
It's highlighted up.
They are. Yeah, I agree. They are getting Bucky Irvin back, which is a big, big step for them. But no, there's no way he's 100%. Baker's 100% healthy. There's no way he should be playing this game, in my opinion. They should get him healthy for the playoffs. Because who is Carolina or Atlanta going to catch them in this division? I don't think so. I think they could play with Teddy Bridgewater for a game and be okay and lose it and still not worry about winning the division because I think they'll be fine. They need to be healthy and they need to get healthy quick. So, and as Mark mentioned, with the 1-score losses for Arizona last week, they lose by 3. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 7 losses has been by 4 points or less. So, I guess, in my opinion, better teams and much healthier teams. We're talking the Colts. We're talking Green Bay. We're talking Seattle. So, yeah, give me Arizona.
There you go. Another show pick. Eagles -7. They're joined by the Arizona Cardinals plus 4.5. Again, these are the free picks. College football free picks in the chat already. You saw the scroll, 20% off for all the premium plays, single-day packages, day passes, season, weekly, monthlies. Go get them, 20% off for your Black Friday special. I want to Where can we go next year? Because there's a lot of interesting games this week. NFL this week, I like a lot of games, although they have moved since I've taken them. I'm a early Friday, Saturday, Sunday better before games come out. I like to try to be the tarot card reader and play with the tea leaves a little bit here. Here's what I haven't moved on. I want to move on it, Matt. Carolina, 10.5 points. Am I missing something? Is Bryce Young out for this game? I mean, it was a tough game on Monday night, but you were off a overtime affair versus your division rival. You're in first place. You got to go play a Niner team who's underperformed, but still a very talented team. You had a shot for the late cover there. You didn't get it. As good as the Rams are, do I want to come in like 10.5 on the road in a spot where they could just be like, let's get out of here? I know they have Arizona, which isn't. It's a division game, but it's not something really to. We got San Fran or Seattle on deck. 10.5. Carolina's been competitive home. You beat Dallas here. You shut out Atlanta here. I don't care whether you think the teams are good or bad. You take care of business at home. Bryce Young looks improved the last few weeks. 10.5 points too many here versus the Rams. Tell me about
I believe it is. Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you know what?
I believe it is.
Hold on a second, man. I want to get Mark because I asked him because Doug was asking about that. So, do you have anything about a 3-0 doggy outright on a Thanksgiving? Has that ever happened before?
No, not in my database. It goes back to 1980, and one of the primary reasons that I knew going in it probably didn't happen is because Thanksgiving Day has been a haven for favorites in the past. And, yesterday was like, whoa, come on, man. The Baltimore Ravens, I'll give you this. Baltimore Ravens were in a roll on Thanksgiving Day where a favorite that was off back-to-back wins, they were 32-12 against the spread since 1980. Don't even win the game. So it was a bad day for the chalk yesterday, to say the least. But nobody has sniffed 3 straight-up dog wins on Turkey Day in my database.
There you go. Back to the Carolina there, Matt Fargo.
Yeah, I saw a stat yesterday. I don't know how true this was. I think it was from a legitimate source that going into yesterday, the last 57 Thanksgiving games, the favorite was 51-6 straight up. So yeah, the dogs have not won. Yesterday was a complete aberration.
Yep.
But good for everybody who bet the dogs and had a lot of turkey. Yeah, I think it's too many points. Like you said. I had Carolina on Monday, and that was, I don't want to say it was a bad beat. It's just like, it's just frustrating. But they have been competitive at home. They're coming off 2 straight road games. And this is all about people are anointing the Rams as the best team in football, which right now they probably are. But this is the NFL. Guess what happens? Teams go on the road like this. They're overinflated because of it. The recency bias is in play. The markets have to adjust. There's way too many points. I'm 100% in agreement with you.
I watched that game with you, the Monday Night Football game, and I had a lot of keen interest in it because I participated in a contest against 70 other guys, and whoever has the most winning plays a week wins the weekly pool. And I needed Carolina to cover the spread Monday night. Mm-hmm. And I watched Bryce Young play like he had a deer in the headlights look. He didn't want to get tackled. He didn't want to get hurt. He just wasn't an aggressive quarterback. And when you are the recipient of 3 picks in the first quarter and you can't score a point, there's something wrong with the football team, or at least the quarterback. That's my little essay on Carolina.
But they all, on the same token, they turn the ball over as well too. So they kind of offset each other's ugliness there.
Yeah, but he's the guy that turned it over first and goal at the 1. And come on, man. Just I was not a Bryce Young fan after the game was over. That's all I got to say. Okay.
No, I agree, and I agree with that. But it's funny. Like, he came into the game, he was playing with a lot of confidence. Like, he was coming off a great game. Yes. He was coming off a great game. So yeah, that surprised me the way he looked. When you said a deer in headlights, he looked a little timid. Like, who was it? Was it Sam Darnold? Back when he was with the Jets, he saw ghosts playing against the Patriots one game or something like that. That's how Bryce Young looked, and it's kind of like he took a step back, but. People might be taking that into consideration with the line because it is so high. 10 points on the road.
You look that bad, and the other team looked that good. Everyone's gonna fade you and take. I'm. You know what? 2 out of 3. We're going Carolina plus 10.5 here.
It becomes ABO, Sean. Always beware of the obvious, and they that bad. Obviously they looked that bad. So that's why the money's going to the Rams in this football game, at least from the public standpoint side of things.
Yeah, no, you're right. 86% of the money's on the Rams right now, which is no surprise.
You're getting plenty of free picks here. We gave out 2, 4, 6 in college, 3 right now in NFL. We're going to keep going for a few minutes, but you saw the promo code there, 20% off. Go get a package, preferably a 30-day, because let's be honest, it's December 1st on Monday. Make it a December to remember. 20% off a monthly pass, all sports included, guaranteed. Show you a profit, we credit you back. Let's go from another double-digit fave on the road to a double-digit fave at home. Seattle Seahawks. This was a 7.5. Quarterbacks ruled out. We get Max Brosner, and the line goes to 11.5. Now, I got a Seattle 7.5 because I was like, Minnesota stinks. I've been no McCarthy fan all year. I think this is a total overreaction up to 11.5 because who the heck? I mean, there's no difference between these two quarterbacks from him. This guy can't be any worse than J.J. McCarthy. How does it move 4 points, Marc Lawrence? Like, is this too many? Like, if this was 9, I'd be like, I'd like double digits Seattle. I think Seattle's a really good team. And the way they kind of let Tennessee get back in the last week, you're going to be like, hey, you're going to come home. You want to be focused on getting it back on track. I think 11.5 is too many.
I think this is another ABO, always beware of the obvious. That's how bad Minnesota looks right now. And what you've got, they turned the ball. They're -8 in turnovers the last 3 games. Not one that they get. 8 times they turned it over. That's J.J. McCarthy. So things maybe won't be that bad with him not on the lineup and on the sidelines. Seattle, as we know, has done all their damage on the road this year. They've a struggling team at home. I just think it's way too many points for them to win in a football game like this. Not that they have anything on deck, just they have Atlanta, but I just think it's too many points and too much of an overreaction to Minnesota and how poorly they played here of late. That's personally my opinion.
Like, really, this game could easily be like 24-14. Like, I think this is more a 10-point game than it is a 13-point game. I know it's 11.5, but you got to be ready for a little backdoor action or whatever. So,
hey Matt, Matt, do you think this could be a play down to the level of the opposition kind of a game for Seattle, who's really cooking right now? Could they be looking down and playing down to Minnesota's level? That's the question.
That is a legitimate point. Your first point is what I was going to bring up about the turnovers. They're all McCarthy. Like, what's the car commercial? I forget what brand it is. It said November to remember. For J.J. McCarthy, it was November to forget. He threw 7 picks in his 4 games he played in November. And like, it's all on him. And if what's this guy's name? Browsner?
Max Brosner, yeah.
From Minnesota, University of Minnesota, right? Yeah, I don't think he can't be any worse, right? And like you mentioned just now about playing down to the competition. I wish Seattle had a divisional opponent on deck so they could be looking ahead to that, but they're not, unfortunately. So
yeah, they're heading to Atlanta next week.
That would have been great if they were. But nonetheless, I think it is too many points. I mean, Minnesota's defense is still pretty legit. They're number 12 in EPA. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. And guess what?
Chicken butt.
Minnesota knows Sam Darnold from last year. They know how to defend this kid.
Yeah. No, again, 11.5, I was like, oh boy, way too many. 8, 9, 10, I'd be like, all right, I'd lean a little Seattle because, they were up 30-7 last week, and the touchdown was like a punt return. So you're thinking,
right,
all right, and then they get a garbage touchdown late, and you're like, what's going on here? Because at that point, Seattle's checked out in the third quarter. They're up 30-7. It's like, all right, 5 minutes ago, let's get out of here healthy and move on. This one here, show pick, Vikings plus 11.5. We had a comment in here from Danny Boy a while back. Hopefully he's still sticking around here. Colts for real lost to KC last week. Maybe not that good. Well, Kansas City's still a pretty decent team. It's not the record might not show it, but you're going there, you lose late to the Kansas City Magic. I'm not gonna take any luster off the shine of the Colts season for losing at Kansas City. Now this week though, against the Colts, I gotta say, against Houston, when they were winning, I was lining up. I'm like, boy, I was waiting for the line to come up a little bit because I want to take Houston, right? Because They would have held on to that. This would have been a 4.5. It would have went up. It didn't happen. It's in the same 3.5. I believe it or not, still like the Texans. We talked a little bit about Mark. These guys at 6-5, they're right there with the Colts and the Chiefs and the Ravens for a playoff spot. I want to take Houston here. I haven't pulled the trigger though. Marc Lawrence, what do you think? Houston and the Colts. Got anything for this one?
Well, you could. I'll put it this way: the first thing I'm going to look at in the National Football League are teams with the number one defense that are underdogs. They're always keep you in the game, which Houston checks that box.
Exactly.
Yes, Houston's 13-3 to the spread as a division dog here of late. Why not? I mean, I think they're slowly, sneakily becoming on the come right now. And I've never been a big Colts fan here at all. I mean, they've allowed season high yards now 7 times this year. That's just total fraud to me. Give me the points with Houston here.
There we go. It looks like we're going to be another one. Mark, what do you think? You're going to be down with the cause here or what?
Mark or Matt?
Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry.
I'm teasing.
I was looking at Mark, but I said Matt. I was looking at you, but I said Mark.
Right. We talked about it briefly before Mark jumped on. That I brought up the point about we're talking about Davis Mills and he could take the Houston Texans to the playoffs. And I brought up it's the defense. Their defense is right now number 2 in EPA. They're number 1, I think, overall in like yardage and all that. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. The top-rated defense against the top-rated offense in EPA against the Colts. So I don't have a strong opinion. I will lean for Houston because we're getting that hook over the key number. So, we can make it a 3-way.
There we go. Another NFL pick here. Houston Astros. Mars in the house. Happy Thanksgiving. Niners. Yeah, let's be honest here. I mean, Sanders was excited about the big win. You beat the Raiders. Not all that impressive. Now you got a squad off of a Monday night short week. This line is dancing because it got down to 4.5. I see it's back up to 5 after 6.5. Mark, this is your old squad here, the Browns, your neck of the woods. You got a defense. You're in it. Again, I want the best number. This isn't the best number. I would probably lean a little San Fran, but again, I don't like how this line's moving. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, we're going to see Shedeur Sanders again this week, and he broke that 17-game streak for the Browns of a rookie quarterback winning his first start. And he did, to me, rather impressively. There was a couple of throws he made that were major league throws. And he's got the ability. There's no question. Now, can he string back-to-back good games together is the question here as well. The defense, against a better team. But I think the defense is the key here. The Browns are number 2 overall in the league right now. They're playing a really, really good brand of football. And I don't think at home, Kevin Stefanski is going to let Sanders lose or win this football game. I think he's just going to be a quarterback that's just going to do what the plays are being called into him to be doing. It's just far too many points for a team of this good of a defense, I think, to lay going West Coast to East Coast for San Francisco.
I agree. Listen, Niners by 3, possible. You know what? Cleveland still covers. Matt Fargo, what do you think?
Yes,
Trifecta
sir.
on the Browns?
Absolutely. I'm looking at the weather right now. Brock Purdy does not have a strong arm. We're looking at rain, possible snow, wind between 25 and 30 miles per hour. Brock Purdy is not going to be able to throw the ball, so we don't have to worry about that. And as you mentioned about Shedeur Sanders, keeping it close to the vest this week. San Fran on a short week. Cleveland at home is a different team than they are on the road. That defense is legit. Although they played good on the road against the Raiders last week, but the Raiders are trash. But yeah, give me Cleveland. Anything? What is it at right now? Is it back up to 5? You said
4.5. There's
4.5.
5 out there, but that's a spot a lot of people probably can't get to. So we're going to call it a 4.5.
Yeah, even anything like it's over the key number 3, obviously, and anything over 4 is great. I love it. Yeah, give me Cleveland.
Total here down to 36.5 too, by the way. So that was down from like a 42. I mean, even after the game, it went down to 39, but now it's just down more based on probably the weather. So
the weather. I think the weather's left to that. Yeah.
Everybody, you've missed out on that. I'm not going to tell people, oh, bad weather, keep betting the under. Can this game be 17-10 and stay under? It could be, yes, but I'm one. If the number is gone, it's time to move on. I'm not.
Sean, trivia question for you here. In this Cleveland Browns game, I mentioned they snapped that 0-17 streak with a rookie making his first start for the Cleveland Browns. Who had the win before the 0-17 streak for the Cleveland Browns?
I know this.
I don't know. Brandon Whedon.
No. Is it Eric somebody?
Eric Couch?
No.
You got to go way back here, Matt, in the way back machine.
The way back machine? Are we in the 90s? Where are we going here?
I saw
Bernie Kosar?
No.
Way back. We're going to Otto Graham, okay?
No.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
No.
He was like the first quarterback ever. He came after Jesus. He was the next guy on earth. Otto Graham. Where's Chip? This is a Chip Service one you're bringing out of here.
Right.
As a rookie, Graham was 10-2-1 as a rookie for the Browns. He's arguably, you can make a big case for him as going down as one of the greatest all-time quarterbacks. We never saw much of him, and I know he played against a competition that's not as keen and sharp as it is today, but you cannot throw holes at Otto Graham here. That guy just delivered the football.
We got one more we're going to run out because we're over an hour here. Arizona State, Arizona. No Levet, he's out to quarterback for Arizona State. I'd still kind of lean with the dog here. But, these kind of rivalry games, I just tend to go with the home team there, especially the short number. But this is a short number based on the quarterback situation, I think. Matt Fargo, you go first on this one.
I have a premium on this game, so I don't give too much away.
All right.
But
there you go. Don't give it away. Stop.
No,
Matt Fargo.
I'm not giving anything away. One thing I will note is that Arizona State is still alive in the Big 12 championship race, if that means anything. But they need a lot of help. They need BYU or Texas Tech to lose. And both are huge favorites. So it's probably not going to happen. But upsets do happen on the road.
Yeah, but you know what, though, with that, even if those other teams win, you still want to win. Last home game, right? Final game of the season,
absolutely.
And a rival to boot.
Absolutely.
You'll get it. What do you think, Matt? Or Mark?
I agree. I think Arizona State is a nice side in this football game. Number one, they're ranked higher than Arizona is in the college football poll rankings. They're number 20. Zona's number 25. Big last home game of the season. And games like this, rivalry games, you got to love the dog in situations like this, especially when there's something for them to play for. I think Arizona State comes up not big in this football game, but good enough to win this football game. Give me the Sun Devils and the points.
There you go. You got a bonus Arizona State money line plus 105 here from us. So there you go. It's your Black Friday free pick bonanza. Arizona State money line. Florida State plus the 1.5, LSU plus 10.5, Michigan plus 10, under 43.5, Tennessee minus 3, over 65.5. They are in the chat, except for that Arizona State one we just added here at the end of the show. NFL action. It's the last comment if you're watching. Eagles minus 7, Cardinals plus 4.5, Carolina Panthers plus 10.5, Minnesota Vikings plus 11.5, Houston plus 3.5, the Browns plus 4.5. Oh, my goodness. The dogs. Here we go. It's a doggy weekend. 3 dogs on Thursday, a favorite here on Friday, and then we're going to woof it up heading into December there. A bunch of free pick action for you here on the Winner Circle Football Friday live. Matt Fargo, we got our Black Friday sale going on all weekend long here. 20% off. What do you got lined up for the rest of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night?
Oh, let's see. I have 3 games going today in college football, starting at 3:30. I have 8 games going tomorrow in college football. I have, I believe, 5 college hoops games. One has already gone final at UConn. They were up. Hopefully they end up covering. Now 5 college hoops games. And NFL
UConn's up 11 right now.
And NFL, I've been posting them yet, but I'm going to have 5 games up in the NFL as well. So it's going to be a big weekend. Definitely a big weekend at gamblersworld.net.
Get on board with Matt. 20% off gamblersworld.net. Marc Lawrence, what do you got for us?
Well, I've got 2 4-star plays posted today. I don't usually use 2 4-stars in a day, usually 1 a week, but I got 2 of them today, and there's still time to get down on those 2 4-stars right now as we speak. And I'm going to cap it all off on Saturday with a 5-star college underdog game of the month. So nice looking card this time of the year, especially with all these rivalry games. A good time to be checking in at gamblersworld.net.
There you go. Not my, college football. Usually I'm loaded up. I'm probably going to add the LSU one. We talked about it. I said I liked it. I wanted to get behind it. Not to have confirmation from my 2 buddies here, but if we all kind of I was already on it. I'm going to make it official. It's a free pick, but it's going to be a freemium in a second because I'm moving on them. I like it. I'm probably going to take the under the total there as well. It's a nice lowy in the 36 range. And NFL, I'm loaded up on NFL already. I got a bunch of games posted. Some of the lines have moved. That's just the way it is. But that's why I tell you, for me, I may definitely get a 30 or 7-day package kind of guy because my games are up Sunday night for the next week early. Sometimes they move for the best, sometimes not. But that's the way I play, and it's we all go different ways. That's why I attack it. So if you want to get aboard of me, I suggest a weekly or a monthly package there for those kind of moves. Again, gamblersworld.net, 20% off all of those packages, daily pass, single pass, day pass, season, whatever you want to drag in with the cat. Go get it right now for your Black Friday sale at gamblersworld.net. Gentlemen, good seeing you. Thanks for making time. I know it's still like a holiday day for everybody. People running around doing things, but I appreciate your time today. Next week, I'll see you next month, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck. Thanks for watching.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, guys. Nothing but winners. Thank you.
See ya.